I just got a pretty hilarious book named DICTATORS of the Playground. It's your task to invent a plot and write that shit out. It's True Detective Easter vlog here from the forest, and as the starter ground, let's take one moment to honor the man that died for our sins on that cross. Remember to pray for a better day, cause even in the most hellish of situations, in the most dire of consequences you face in your life, Jesus fucking Christ. If we want to quit our sinful ways, we have to remember that we shouldn't be sinning for our own sake, not for the sake of God's approval or the sake of other human beings' approval, but for our own sake, because living in sin, it's not just about what the culture has deemed to be a sin. If we want to get out of that habit, we probably have to ask help from the Most High, the God up there in the sky, the ground, the heavens above, as above so below type of shit. Inside your heart you understand that certain actions, they have certain consequences, and some of those consequences are not very pleasant. If you can't get this product called sauerkraut or sauerkraut in your country, eat that shit. Next, little something about learning those languages. Variety of practice, that's important. That you practice in variety of manners. Stay tuned for more poetries and rhymings on my channel too. About finding those writers that you like, Goodreads is a great resource to find those writers, and I'm at the moment getting into a genre that I have not read before, called Western fiction or Westerns. The great thing about that Goodreads is that when you look at writers, you can base your decisions on so many factors if you want to read this book or not. What I have noticed about moving in nature a lot compared to just moving on pavement is that my body type in these 4 months has changed somewhat. I've become much more, what I would call it, this kind of like agile and flexible. I have a feeling that this summer is going to be hot as heck. Of course, in Finland you can never expect the same kind of temperature as, for example, in Egypt. And I saw the pyramids and I went to the Valley of the Dead, but I haven't traveled to those countries where they do meditation. I haven't been to those countries, and I will travel because of what I do. The pieces of the puzzle, so to say, they will click into place. In the dreamland I've been seeing a lot of just amazing stuff. Next I'm heading to the grocery store and get some stuff. Oh yeah, I have no clue if there's any studies about how the body changes when you move into different terrains, but I feel that my body type really has fucking changed. You know, I look different than I used to. There's probably a whole slew of channels on YouTube and a whole scene about riding. Just YouTubers talking about that riding. Just right. Just fucking right. For some fucking reason there sprang up in my mind this thought about a YouTube channel that I watched in the past when I was very depressed, and it was this guy that was always talking about his bad fortune with women, that kind of stuff. It was kind of hilarious because he had such a type of solemn and kind of somber way of conducting himself in the world, but still was kind of cracking jokes about his own situation about it. I have been probably inspired by a lot of different YouTubers, but I feel that I have also found my own way to make videos, and YouTube is filled with great audiobooks too. You should check some of them out. And I had a habit in the past of just walking around here in the forests and listening to that shit. If you have a little problem of opening your mouth and saying anything of worth, then consider that it might be because you don't have enough references. You just haven't heard enough of good writing and good thinking. You should get into that, and you should listen to some of this stuff. One great audio program I'm right now listening to is by Tony Robbins. It's on YouTube and it's called Lessons in Mastery. Pretty much condensed what Tony Robbins talks about in his books, which I have read all of them.